Good afternoon. Welcome to TNC Radio.live. This is the Truckers Network Radio Show. And now here's your host, Shelley Johnson.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Yes, this is the Truckers Network Radio Show on TNC Radio.live, where we offer the news, sports, traffic, weather, information, and entertainment our commercial drivers want and need. When it comes to entertainment, who doesn't love a great truck show? We've been featuring quite a few this year on this show. The 5th annual Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show is coming July 29th and 30th to Winchester, New Hampshire. All proceeds are going to be donated to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Children with Autism. It's going to be quite the event again this year. Last year, they had 582 registered trucks, and the donations they raised helped many families. With us today to talk about the truck show is Robert Conrad with Gear Jammer Magazine. Welcome, Robert. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Shelley. We appreciate it.
I thought maybe we could start with you giving the history of the truck show. This really is a fantastic cause, and it sounds like you get a ton of people every year.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, we attended many truck shows ourselves, my sons and myself. And I started the magazine back in 2016. And everyone seems to really enjoy it. They love seeing their trucks in the public eye and getting a little press. They put so much into the trucks, as you know. It's not just about going down the highway. They got to look cool doing it. And they certainly do. And we had attended so many truck shows, and my sons had an idea. They said, why don't we have our own truck show? And let's do it for a charity. And we really hadn't seen many events for children with autism. So we chose that as the charity that our show would benefit. And we've been doing the show ever since 2018.
That's terrific. Well, I think there's still confusion about autism, and it's so needed, these kind of charities for the families, for the children. I think what you're doing is terrific.
Well, thank you very much. And there is, like you said, a lot of confusion because there's so many different, I want to say, ends of the spectrum with autism. Some children are fully functioning. Others, like Doug Flutie's son, who the foundation is named after, he's, I believe, 29 years old, and he doesn't speak a word. Mm-hmm. So he's on the other end of the spectrum where he isn't really functioning. I know he's in a special class in Florida, and he's in with a bunch of smaller children, and they've nicknamed him the Giant because he's such a big man. He's a grown man now, but he's still at the level probably of the smaller children where he can't really communicate. Due to the autism.
Now, in terms of the foundation, does that help with families and children? I would imagine this is a support system so many families need. It depends on what state they live in, whether they can get any kind of support with caregiving and that kind of thing.
Right. And it's a small organization, really. It's called the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation, but they only have, I believe, 8 employees or 10 at the most. So we know the money goes to the right place. A lot of these big charities, sometimes the money tends to go towards God knows what, salaries or who knows, internal things. But this money that we donate, it's part of what they raise, with all of their events during the year. And it goes to the families and to the children, whether they need special things for the house, special computers to learn from, caregivers, things like that. So the money does go to the right place.
Awesome. Oh, that's so very important because, yes, you're correct. There's so many organizations that become so top heavy. It goes into the upper layers rather than the original cause of that nonprofit. So this is wonderful.
Right.
How much money do you raise every year, if you wouldn't mind telling us?
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, this is our 5th annual show. And the first show we did was on a smaller scale. We only had 300 trucks, and we raised $14,500. Then in year 2, we jumped up to $24,500. And then in our 3rd year, we raised just over $36,000.
Excellent.
And last year was our biggest year to date. We raised just under $64,000. So in 4 years, we're at probably like $140,000 roughly.
That's
total donations.
That's huge growth, too. This is wonderful.
Yeah, and it's been just because of all the generous people who have reached out to donate, and most of them are small trucking companies or independent drivers with just 1 or 2 trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be our biggest supporters.
Oh, absolutely. The trucking community is so very generous. It really, really is.
Sure. Anything that pertains to helping children, they're, right on board and first in line to help out.
That's why I love what you're doing. Now, the event is July 29th and 30th. Where is it in Winchester, New Hampshire?
It's at Monadnock Speedway, which is at 840 Keene Road. It's right next to Keene, New Hampshire, which is a big college town. Keene University is there. Mm-hmm. It's about 7 miles from the college. So Winchester is just a tiny little town. It's basically a little dot on the map, and then the speedway, it's an 8-mile oval track, and they host a bunch of different races there during the year. They pretty much have a race every weekend, and then they fit our truck show in amongst all the racing for the cars.
And you said they're actually donating the space for you this year? That's a wonderful thing for them to do.
Right. They've been more than generous. I know when we had to switch venues in 2020 due to COVID-19. We couldn't have any gatherings of spectators here in Massachusetts where we're based. Mm-hmm. And so we looked up into New Hampshire because their ruling on gatherings and people were a little bit different. And somebody recommended Monadnock Speedway to me, so I went up and looked at it, and they gave me a tour, and I really liked it. And I says, gee, let's do this. How much is the facility going to cost us for the weekend? And her response was, well, it's such a great charity, and what you're doing is so great. We're going to donate the facility to you guys. So they don't charge us for the facility, which is pretty amazing.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And what a huge boost. That way the proceeds can go directly to your charity. That's excellent.
Right. Yeah, it definitely helps our donation in the long run, because most facilities similar to this would probably be, oh goodness, I would think $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 for the weekend.
Easily. Oh yeah. Easily.
Yep.
And miscellaneous costs along with it. So that's a tremendous boost. So
yeah, very, very gracious of them to donate. And this is the 3rd year in a row. So we have nothing but good things to say about them.
So how many trucks have been entered so far? And can people still enter their trucks?
Oh, yeah. We have quite a few local and long-distance trucks that just register at the gate when they arrive, either Friday the 29th or Saturday the 30th. I think right now we're right around 450 trucks pre-registered.
Oh, cool.
So we're right around 450, but we expect probably between 600 and 700 total trucks, as long as the weather cooperates, which is a big if.
Oh, well, Mother Nature pretty much does what she wants, as we all know. She's kind of moody sometimes, but I would imagine this time of year in New Hampshire, it's beautiful.
It is, yeah. We really got lucky last year because we had a real bad rainstorm come through on Thursday afternoon. That was our setup day and early arrivals for vendors and trucks. And light rain turned to downpours, and it rained through the evening. And there wound up being 12 inches of rainwater on the infield grass of the track.
Wow.
So we actually had trucks that were already parked there, and they were kind of floating in the water. It was up to the bumpers.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's not good.
They actually had to bring the fire department up, and they pumped all the water out. So by Saturday, the grass was walkable. We couldn't park trucks on it, but at least people could walk around on it, which was good.
Sure. And you didn't have to tow any trucks out because when water leaves, then you have mud.
Right. Yep. No, it drained pretty well. It's gravel under the grass, so it drained well after they got it pumped. So somebody was watching over us, though, because it could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Well, I want to get into the details of how everybody enters and the kind of activities you've got on track for the event, because I see that there's stuff for the whole family, and this is going to be a lot of fun. We do have to go to break. We're talking with Robert Conrad with Gear Jammer Magazine about their annual truck show. The proceeds go to families with children with autism for the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation. It's a wonderful event coming up at the end of the month in Winchester, New Hampshire. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for more coming up.
This blog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. 6 safety tips for truck drivers while driving in the rain. As a truck driver, you'll experience driving in dangerous weather conditions. Driving in the rain creates difficult and dangerous driving conditions for truckers. It's important for truck drivers to be alert and cautious when driving in the rain. Check out our 6 safety tips for truck drivers while driving in the rain. Slow down. Wet roads make it difficult for a driver to control their truck. A good rule of thumb is to drive 5 miles per hour below the speed limit. In some cases, you might have to drive more than 5 miles an hour below. Professional truck drivers adjust their speed according to the weather. When driving in dangerous conditions, only drive the speed you're comfortable with. Leave space. Leaving the appropriate amount of space between each vehicle will give a truck driver enough time to react. A fully loaded tractor-trailer traveling at 65 miles an hour needs about 5 seconds of space to stop. Drivers will have to increase the space between the cars while driving in dangerous weather conditions. Maintain your vehicle. Having your vehicle routinely checked will make driving in the rain more safe. Frequently check your truck's tires to make sure they have enough tread. Also, check your windshield wipers to see if they're working properly. Avoid standing water. Driving through standing water increases the chance of hydroplaning. Hydroplaning causes a driver to lose control of the truck and can result in serious injuries. Standing water also hides potholes and other debris that might be on the road. It's important to always avoid standing water while driving in the rain. Wear your seatbelt. Wearing a seatbelt is a requirement for all truckers, especially in dangerous weather conditions. Eliminate distractions. While driving in the rain, eliminate all distractions. If you drive with the radio on, turn the volume low so you can concentrate. Avoid touching your GPS or looking at it for long periods of time, and avoid using your cell phone. This blog on tncradio.live has been brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel particulate filter regeneration.
The DPF catches particulates left over from combustion. The DPF regeneration cycle cleans the filter with temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A computer sensor triggers the DPF regen, which is often accompanied by a loss of power and fuel economy. The frequency of DPF regens are in correlation to the cleanliness of the fuel burn. Under heavy operation with the dirty burn, DPF regens can occur multiple times per day. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme Fuel Additive promotes a more complete combustion, creating fewer emissions and therefore fewer DPF regens. Vehicles using Diesel Extreme experience 83% less DPF regens.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly, and we're talking with Robert Conrad about the Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show. That happens at the end of July in New Hampshire. Robert, your event is really cool because it's strictly for charity. The proceeds go to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Children with Autism. And that is just very cool in and of itself. But it's going to be a family event, and there's lots of stuff going on. What do you have planned for this year?
Sure. We have a lot of activities. We have a kids zone with face painting and coloring books and the moon bounce that all the kids love to jump around in. On Friday, the 29th, the gates open at noontime. And then Friday evening, we have a concert at 5 o'clock. We have a Leonard Skinner tribute band. They're called Barefoot Rebel. They're nationally recognized as one of the top Skinner tribute bands, so they're really cool. Then, believe it or not, after they go on, right around 7 o'clock, we're actually going to have a trucker's wedding. It's a young man and young lady that we're friends with. They both have trucks, and they wanted to be married at a truck show, and they actually had their first date at our first event way back in 2018. So,
how cool.
Yeah, so that's going to go on at 7 at night. Then we have another band coming on, which is the Houston Bernard Band. So they're going to go on following the wedding. Then we also have fireworks, and we have our light show on Friday evening as well, where all the trucks will put their lights on, and we give out various trophies for the lights.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, do you actually have a competition for the trucks, or is it just show up and show off?
We do. We that was another thing about our show. Everyone has events, locally and long distance that we go to, but not a lot of them give out trophies anymore. So we had a lot of requests for awards. So we give out probably over 130, 140 trophies in about 40 different classes.
Wow.
So the show and shine takes place. It starts on Friday, and then trucks will come in. We can bring them in as late as noontime on Saturday. And then we do all our judging Saturday afternoon and have our awards Saturday evening.
Neat. So what are some of the different classes? You said you have 140 different categories?
Sure, yeah, about 140 awards in like 40 different classes. So we try to be fair. Yeah, we try to be fair to everyone. We have one class called limited mileage, and that's, say, for a brand new truck that somebody just built, or a
Join the meeting.
Strictly goes to shows. So that class is 100,000 miles or under on the odometer.
Okay.
But then we have a number of different classes. Other than that, I mean, there's a wrecker class, a dump truck class, antique classes, combo reefer, combo tanker. So pretty much any type of truck, we have a certain class for it to make it fair for everyone that shows up.
Do you have a favorite, Robert, in terms of a class of truck?
For me, probably the combo reefer class. Those guys, that over the road guys with the spread axle reefer trailers, they really dress them up, pretty nicely. And I'd say that's my favorite type.
Okay. Our driver partner, Tom Kirk, just joined us. I'm going to put you on the spot, Tom. Do you have a favorite class of truck?
Oh, it has to be for me. It has to be the classic / antique class, particularly if you've got some of these guys that has let's say a 30-plus-year-old truck and has coupled it up with a reefer or any type of a customized trailer, spread axle or otherwise. The detail that they go into that is just absolutely mind-blowing.
I agree. Yeah, some of those old trucks, and a lot of them are still out there working. It's pretty amazing.
And then you see where they've taken a reefer, and sometimes it's a classic reefer, but they've had it modernized, with a more modern engine, or it could be a modern reefer, and they've got the colors and everything that matches it, and it's just, like I said, the detail that they put in some of those. And the other ones that I think are also worth noting is the guys that do the flatbeds with the automatic tarping systems, whatever you want to call them. I know there's a couple different names for them, but curtain side. But when you look at those, some of them are absolutely gorgeous setups as well.
Absolutely.
So it's just fun for everybody just to wander around and see all the different semis, and with their chicken lights, their chrome. I imagine you've got some that are pretty well decked out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have, it's a good variety, and everyone that attended the show the past 4 years, they've all said it's a family atmosphere, and nobody comes and says, oh, my truck's better than yours, and everybody kind of admires everyone else's trucks that are there, and it's everything, like I said, from strictly show trucks to guys that work them every day, so it's a good mix. So
people come from all over the nation, don't they?
They do, yeah. Last year we had trucks from Texas, from Idaho, from Florida. There was two trucks from Canada. So it's a pretty good variety of states that are represented.
That's neat. You were talking about the festivities on Friday. What's happening on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday we have a bunch of stuff as well. Truck registration, like I said, will go up until noontime. The truck pulls, we have diesel big rig truck pulls. Those start at 10:30, and those will go probably till 2:30, depending on how many entries we have. So that's always fun for the guys to compete, see who can pull the sled the farthest. And we do have prize money for that, and we broke it into street-driven trucks and pro pulling trucks. We have some of the trucks that come that are strictly trucks that pull. And it was pretty neat last year. The guys that won the polls donated the money back to the charity, so that was pretty nice.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sure. After the truck polls, we have our big raffle at 3:00. We have just so many different trophies, everything from a Pit Boss gas grill to a set of lug nut covers. There's probably about 60 prizes in total, and that's a big money generator for the charity. Everyone loves to try and win something, which is neat.
Oh, sure.
So after the raffle, we have our awards ceremony right around 4. And then we have another concert Saturday night, 5:30, the Annie Brost Band. They're a local band from Massachusetts. She was originally from Ohio. And then following her concert, we're going to do a parade of lights. That's something new this year. Probably have about 50 trucks, and we're going to parade around the track with the lights on. And yeah, that'll conclude the show on Saturday.
Very neat. Now, I understand there are a lot of people that come. You said last year you ran out of spectator parking. That's a good problem to have.
We did, yeah. It was really blew our mind. Friday was busy, but Saturday it seemed like everyone came in the morning, and by 11 we were full. So we had cars waiting out on Route 10 to get in, and we had about a 2-mile backup in each direction. So the only solution was to let the cars park in the breakdown lanes, and we had people walking down into the speedway. So a little dangerous, but we got through it. And this year we're going to have 2 satellite parking lots with shuttles running all day Saturday to make it a little safer for everyone.
Sure. Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yep.
Well, this is really neat. Mr. Kirk, what do you like about truck shows? I thought I'd put you on the spot again.
You like doing that to me.
I know.
I think the thing that makes truck shows so great is it's a way to see old friends and make new friends. Because there's certain truck shows that when you go to, particularly the more established shows like a Mid-America or back in the days when GATS used to still be around, there were more of the trade shows. You pretty much knew a lot of friends would be there. You could see them. It was a great chance to make them. And now, since GATS looks like it is done, and it's really, of the big ones, only Mid-America is left, it's these smaller, more regional or specialty shows that's where you have to go and see your friends now, and in some cases make new ones, because I know certain friends who don't come to the Northeast, or they don't go to the West Coast, or they don't go to whichever corner it is. So when you do get a chance to go to some of these shows, it does let you make friends, new friends, see some of your old ones, and also it kind of inspires you for just simple things. If you're a company driver like myself, you maybe think of, okay, the company's not going to let me do a lot of things to my truck, but you might see something simple that somebody's done that has made their quality of life better on the road. And it's like, that gives you an inspiration to go back to your truck and think, okay, what can I do, not just to make the truck look better, but to make my quality of life better?
Sure. Makes absolute sense. We do have to go to break here. I want to hear more, Robert, about this truck show and also about your magazine, Gear Jammer Magazine. That's really cool. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on TNCRadio.live. We're talking with Robert Conrad about the Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show. That's happening at the end of July in New Hampshire. Everybody needs to stop by to see that. It's for a great cause for children with autism and the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation. Stay tuned for more information and more on the truck show coming up right here on TNCRadio.live.
This blog is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Truckers Against Trafficking can help fight modern-day slavery. Human trafficking is a real and frightening issue in the United States. It's a crime that forcefully exploits women, men, and children. Human trafficking involves transporting a person into a situation of exploitation, which can include forced labor, marriage, or prostitution. The term exploitation in this sense is commonly referred to as modern slavery. At this time, it's estimated that there are 20 to 40 million human trafficking victims internationally. According to the ACLU, the United States Department of State estimates that 14 to 17,000 people are trafficked into the United States each year. Truckers Against Trafficking exists to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize members of the trucking, bus, and energy industries to combat human trafficking. Truckers Against Trafficking goals: saturate trucking and related industries with TAT materials. Partner with law enforcement and government agencies to facilitate the investigation of human trafficking. Marshal the resources of partners to combat this crime. The Truckers Network proudly sponsors Truckers Against Trafficking and their efforts to fight against this heinous crime that's affecting hundreds of thousands of Americans each year. How truckers can help. Training video. Watch Truckers Against Trafficking's free training video and take the short quiz through their online portal. This will register you as an official TAT trained, TAT certified driver. Know the red flags. Download the Truckers Against Trafficking app and request a wallet card and window decal at tat.truckers@gmail.com. Share. Share Truckers Against Trafficking's training with others in person and through social media. How trucking companies, schools can help? Training video. Share Truckers Against Trafficking's free training video with your drivers. Request a digital file of your video or physical DVD from tat.truckers@gmail.com. Know the red flags. Tell your drivers to download the Truckers Against Trafficking app and or request wallet cards for your drivers from tat.truckers@gmail.com. Register. Register your company as trained to reflect your impact in the fight against trafficking and encourage others to do the same. This info blog was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Hello, everybody. This is Todd Dewey from the hit show Ice Road Truckers on the History Channel. And my source of radio and all truckers news, I go to tncradio.live.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly and Tom Kirk. We're talking with Robert Conrad about the Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show. That happens at the end of July in New Hampshire. The proceeds of the show go to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation that helps children with autism. So it's a great cause. Robert, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your magazine that you founded, Gear Jammer Magazine. What is the history of that and what do you feature?
Sure. But I always was interested in trucks, and I was taking pictures as a young child, probably around 10 years old, and just always intrigued by them. So, I went to business management school, and I never thought I would ever have a trucking magazine. I used to enjoy getting Overdrive and Owner Operator and all those magazines in the mail. And then I just kept taking pictures continuously. And I had a few people here locally say, well, why don't you, do something with all these photos? And so we gave it a shot. Back in July of 2016, we founded the magazine. I did. And, my two sons helped me quite a bit, and my wife does as well. It's not a big conglomerate where we have a lot of people to answer to. We kind of do our own thing, and we feature everything from show trucks to antiques to everyday work trucks. And we do a lot of truck show coverage. We attend quite a few truck shows. We go to Mid-America, 75 Chrome Shop. We go to as many as we can of the major events and a lot of small ones as well. To bring people coverage if they couldn't get to the show, we try to bring it to them.
Now, is this available online or does it come in the mail or can you get it at a newsstand?
It's subscription only. We don't have an online version as of yet. We're thinking of adding an online version probably the first of next year. Mm-hmm. We are at a number of truck stops and shops all over the country. Little Sisters out in Barstow, California. It's a popular truck wash. We're at the Iowa 80 truck stop in Walcott, Iowa. 4 State Trucks down in Joplin, Missouri, which is home of the Chrome Shop Mafia.
Right.
75 Chrome Shop down in Wildwood, Florida. And then up here in the Northeast, where we're based, quite a few locations. Dysart's up in Bangor, Maine is a pretty popular spot for tourists and truckers alike. So it is available, all over the country, probably in about 40 to 45 different locations, and by subscription on our website as well, at GearJammerMagazine.com.
Now, does this come out monthly or?
Every 2 months. We print 6 issues per year. Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Now, do people submit pictures of their rigs, or do you go out and photograph them and feature them? And can people say, hey, I want to be interviewed. I love my rig?
Yeah, we have a lot of people reach out to us. A lot of times people will try to submit photos from cell phones, and that makes it tough when we go to print those. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we'll try to meet up with someone at a truck show that we're going to be at that's close to where they live. We do take submissions, though, as well. And we do have probably 3 or 4 contributing people in different parts of the country. One gentleman in Maryland, one in Michigan, actually, that contribute photos, and they send them in to us to print as well.
Very cool. Tom, Mr. Kirk, have you seen Gear Jammer magazine in any of the truck stops? Or?
Yes, I have. Like you said, when I was down in Joplin for the truck show last fall there for Chrome Shop Mafia, I've seen it there in a few other locations around the country. And it is a great publication where, particularly if you like looking at, for lack of a better term, trucker porn. And everybody, when I say that to truckers, they know exactly what I mean. It's chrome, it's the lights, it's the classic trucks, it's the new trucks, it's everything that you wish you could have but can't afford. It sometimes it sets goals for people or gives them ideas of things they can do for their truck. And in other cases, just for people like me, it's just a way that we can enjoy a lot of trucks that, for whatever reason, we may not be able to ever afford or want to afford, or as the situation may be. Because when you're an owner-operator, it brings on a whole lot of headaches. And then when you're a show truck owner-operator, it brings on a whole new set of headaches.
Yeah, like not wanting to have stones land on your...
Well, there's
rig.
that, and there's all the other things that goes involved with it, of keeping it nice and neat and everything else. And this way you get to live vicariously, and particularly if there are certain events. I've never been able to make it to the Wildwood show or the Walcott Jamboree. So this is a way that someone like me can enjoy those shows if we can't make it there.
Which is cool. Robert, I find it interesting. Do you have your CDL, or do you just always had a fascination with big rigs?
Yeah, never got a CDL. Just like you said, a fascination with big rigs. Ever since I was little. I think it probably started when I was 8 to 10 years old. I used to get out of school, and my mother used to drive me up to Foxborough, Mass, which was the home of Consolidated Peterbilt, one of the most famous Peterbilt dealerships in the country. And I used to know all the mechanics and everything. They used to bring me in the back, the garages, and I would be up there taking pictures after school. And that's kind of how the fascination began with the trucks. And unfortunately, that dealership has been closed for a while. It's now a motorcycle dealership. So every time I go by there, I see, pictures of the trucks in my head.
So you probably
now, Robert.
Go ahead, Tom.
Have you ever published some of those pictures you took back when you were a kid?
No, we've shared a few of them on our pages on social media, and people love to see them. I've never really published any. Possibly further down the line, we might do some sort of an old school section in the magazine where we try to scan those photos, because obviously they were all negatives, and the negatives are pretty much ruined after 40 years. Everything now is digital, which makes it a lot easier to archive and hold on to it. But we will do something at some point with those photos in the magazine. I
imagine you have a fondness for Peterbilt.
Absolutely, yeah. Peterbilt's and Kenworth's probably my favorite too, but I really like, I'm crazy. I like all types of trucks. Even like Tom was saying, the antique trucks are so nice. Some of the old Macs and auto cars, and it's amazing what the guys do to restore them.
Oh, and there's quite a history behind that. And Tom, you've seen a lot of the historical trucks, and I like you said, that's kind of your preference.
Well, and I think, some of it is I think it's always important in any industry to at least have an appreciation, if not an outright understanding, for where you've come from. And you look at some of these trucks, and you can see the hints of some of the aerodynamics that are being done today in some of the modern trucks. They've taken maybe in a little different direction, but if you go back to some of those trucks from the 40s and the 50s, the noses were a little bit narrower. They maybe didn't do all the rounded corners or some of that stuff, but you can kind of see where some of them were going with some of the ideas that they went to today. Now, today, have they gotten maybe a little bit too far and a little too wind tunnely? Yeah. But you can see where some of those things go. And then the other thing I think it gives you an appreciation of, you see some of these older trucks and you think about how tough you have it sometimes, and then you realize your sleeper's 2 to 3 times as large. You have air ride, power steering, air conditioning, air seats, and all these other things. And you start going, maybe I don't have it as bad as I thought I did.
So you're never tempted.
I think, an appreciation.
You're never tempted to say, hey, I think I want to drive one of these old trucks for 2 weeks and see how I feel?
Am I tempted to say would I like to run one of them for a little while for a load or two? Mm-hmm. Yes. Couple weeks, my chiropractor would love me. My back, not so much.
I bet.
For sure. Old school truck driving was a big difference than what it is nowadays, like you said.
Didn't they wear hernia belts and stuff like that, too?
If they didn't, they probably should have.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard different things on that, where some did and some didn't. But the steering wheels were a lot larger for leverage purposes. You know, the suicide knobs were a lot more common because it did help a lot with giving them leverage for making certain turns. Particularly if you didn't have power steering, you only had air assist. So there was a lot of features there. And like I said, and even on some of the trucks, it just made the news not too long ago. And somebody had come up with this brilliant idea to make a tractor trailer where the truck basically fit entirely under the trailer. And yes, it did have a sleeper berth.
Oh, my. Okay.
And I want to say it was one of the trailer manufacturers, and they were talking about how they've actually managed to obtain one of the prototype trucks and have restored it. And I want to say it was either Strict or Stout, off the top of my head. But it's a very unique looking truck. Mm-hmm. But, you know, one of the things is, I got to say, it's a very scary truck in the sense that you're basically about the same height off the ground as a car.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very unique truck. So I think, you know, like I said, a lot of these trucks I like because it does give you an appreciation for some of the things that have been tried and experimented with over the years. And some of the stuff worked out really well. And some of the stuff, not so much. Kind of
like rustic camping does for me. After I'm done with a weekend of rustic camping, I say, gee, I kind of like what I got going on here.
Sure.
I have a bathroom.
Hey, Shelley, rustic camping, by that you mean it's a cabin that has maybe limited electricity, a little bit of running water, and a bathroom in a little cabin.
No, I've actually done a tent and hung onto a tree before. So, no, that's rustic. Do I like doing it often? No, but I've done it. So
I'm a wimp. Give me a Hanson in anytime.
There you go.
The thing is, I used to love going camping like that when I was younger, Shelley. Then I started driving truck, and people are like, "Oh, don't you want to go camping?" And I look at them, why? I said, my idea of camping or vacation is not having to walk, 500, 1,000, however many feet to get to a bathroom or a shower.
Sure. You're camping every day.
No, thank
Absolutely.
You. Roughing it means not having maid service.
Right.
Agreed.
Exactly. We have to go to break here. We're talking with Robert Conrad about the Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show that happens at the end of July in New Hampshire. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly and Tom Kirk. We will be back, so definitely stay tuned to learn more about this truck show coming up right here on TNCRadio.live. Space in a semi-truck is limited. A majority of truck drivers spend a good portion of their careers living on the road. Trying to fit all the necessary home items, personal products, work documents, and food in a tiny truck cab can be a challenge. Staying organized on the road helps you stay more productive and comfortable. It also helps to be organized in the event of a DOT inspection. The Truckers Network has 5 helpful organization tips for truck drivers. Storage containers. Storage containers are inexpensive and come in a variety of different sizes. Depending on the size, you can fit a storage container in many different places. Make sure to measure the container before buying to ensure you maximize your space. You'll want to use every bit of your cab. Some items you can put in the containers include canned or dry food, water, cleaning supplies, exercise equipment, and toiletries. Some of our recommended storage containers include Iris USA TB42 12-quart stack and pull box, Itemy 6-pack plastic storage baskets, weight trim foldable shoe box, command hooks. Command hooks are a great way to maximize your space and keep things off the floor. Install a couple command hooks and you can hang your everyday coat, hat, or bag. Here's a pro tip. Use Velcro to attach to containers or different items so they don't slide around while driving on bumpy roads. Some of our recommended command hooks include command small wire hooks, 16 hooks, 24 strips. Photo Snow adhesive hooks, ultra strong wall hangers and hooks. Budding Joy adhesive heavy duty hooks. Over the door shoe organizer. An over the door shoe organizer is great for keeping your closet and your truck cab organized. Instead of storing shoes, store your cleaning supplies, personal items, and some clothes. Check out our recommended shoe organizers. 24 pockets, simple houseware crystal clear over the door hanging shoe organizer. Aristocrat Homeware's over the door shoe rack and closet organizer system with 24 extra large heavy duty pockets. Shower caddies. Truck stop showers are a place you'll often be. Having a shower caddy full of your shower routine necessities will help ensure you have everything you need. Forgetting your toiletries will have you buying some at the truck stop or running back out to your truck. Shower caddies are also great for holding condiments, drinks, and dinnerware. Some of our recommended shower caddies include Greenbrier Small Utility Shower Caddy Tote, 7-pocket shower caddy tote. Labels. Because there's limited space in a semi-cab, most of your things will be in containers. Investing in a label maker is a great way to organize your storage containers and drawers. It also makes it easy to find what you need. Check out some of our recommended labels and label makers. They include Dymo LetraTag 100H Plus handheld label maker, address labels 2.625 by 1 pack of 3,000 labels.
I'm Hope Savara. Join us on TNCRadio.live at 7 p.m. Eastern with Building Strong Minds with your host, Dr. Christopher Cortman.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly and Tom Kirk. We're talking with Robert Conrad about the Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show that's happening at the end of July in New Hampshire. All the proceeds go to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help children with autism. Robert, I was wondering, where do people make donations for this event? Because I imagine they can do it at any time, right?
Sure, yeah, we can accept checks made out to the event, which is Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show. We can accept those checks via mail. I would say 99% of the donations happen at the show. Spectators will come in. We do have donation jars at the registration booth, and people will put cash in. We do take checks as well, and then we do have all of our sponsors for the show. This year, I think we have 162 sponsors, and we had 3 sponsorship levels. Bronze, which was $250, silver was $500, and then gold was $1,000. So various companies have reached out and sponsored that way, and they've sent their money in. And we just hold all that money in the account for the show, and then we pay the expenses for the event. And whatever's left, we donate to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation.
Oh, this is wonderful. And so how would people reach out to you if they have any questions? Are you online? I know you have a Facebook page for the event.
Sure, yep. They can reach out via our Facebook page, which is just Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show, and it's listed as 5th annual. Or they could call me directly on my cell phone if they choose. We could give them information that way, and that number is 508-212-9998. Or they can come visit us at the show. We'd love to have them come check out the show. We do have spectators who have emailed, and they're coming from a number of different states. So if they want to donate right at the show, like I said, they could do that and check out all the trucks and the concerts and the light show and the fireworks too. So,
do you know offhand in terms of accommodations? Is there camping around the area? Hotels? I would imagine people.
Sure. Yeah. There's 2 campgrounds within 10 minutes of the show.
Okay.
Right there in Winchester, New Hampshire. One is Forest Lake Campground, and the other one is Ashalot River Campground. We had camper spots available at the Speedway. Those are sold out. We don't have any left. So I'd suggest reaching out to those campgrounds, or there are a number of hotels in either direction. Probably up in Keene, New Hampshire would be the best bet. We had 2 host hotels for the event, but they're both sold out at this point, where we're only 3 weeks away.
Excellent. Oh, yeah. My goodness. And I know you're busy. Anytime you put together a truck show, you need a much longer day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we really don't take much of a break. Once the show ends, we'll probably take a month off, and then we jump right into planning next year's event, because it's pretty much I want to say 8 or 9 months of planning and groundwork to get everything squared away.
Sure.
But it's fun work.
And it sounds like it's really going to grow this year. This is awesome. And for 5 years, you've really made some tremendous strides with this event.
We've been really lucky. A lot of our followers on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, attend the show, and they spread the word, and I think they've really helped us grow. Social media has been a big plus. And then folks like yourself who have reached out to us and wanted to talk about the show, which is neat too. I never dreamed we'd be on the radio, discussing the truck show. We just figured it'd be a little, regional event here, but it's really grown in 5 years.
Which is cool. Well, what a great time of year to go to New Hampshire. It's a beautiful part of the country, too.
Yeah, the racetrack itself is kind of tucked in amongst all the mountains, so it's really picturesque, and there's a lot of antique shops and cool little restaurants up in that area, so it's definitely a nice spot to go to.
Mm-hmm. And people like checking that out, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So for people who just tuned in, what again are some of the activities that people can find at the truck show?
Sure. Friday, spectator gates open at noontime, and the show lasts till 10 p.m. And then on Friday, we have 2 concerts. We have a Leonard Skinner tribute band, and we have another country rock band going to perform. We also have the Kids Zone. That'll be open both days. That has face painting and coloring books and all sorts of activities for the kids, and a big moon bounce that they can jump around in. We have a trucker's wedding on Friday evening, which is going to be kind of cool. A young gentleman, young lady from Pennsylvania. They're going to say their I do's right at the show.
That's so cool.
We also have fireworks Friday evening, and we have the light show Friday night. Then on Saturday, we have the truck pulls, big rig truck pulls. Those will go from 10:30 till about 2:30. And then we also have our raffle with over 65 gifts available to try and win. Everything from a gas grill to a big screen TV to lug nut covers for the trucks. Following the raffle, we have our awards ceremony down at the finish line on the track. Then we have another concert, the Annie Gross Band on Saturday. And the Parade of Lights will finish up the show, Lights On for Autism, Saturday evening.
Where do people find your event again, just in case they didn't write it down or weren't actively listening?
Sure. Yep. They can find us on Facebook under 5th Annual Gear Jammer Magazine Truck Show. We're also on Instagram. They can email us directly if they wish. The email address, if they needed some more information, is M as in Matthew, T as in Thomas, T as in Thomas, and then the last name, Conrad, just the number 7, all by itself at AOL.com.
Excellent. And the truck show is July 29th and 30th in Winchester, New Hampshire. Do you recommend maybe some people bringing their rigs in a day early, or are they able to do that?
Sure. Yeah, we will be there. We're actually going to be there a little earlier this year. We'll be there Wednesday afternoon, starting around 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So people can arrive Wednesday if they want. That's the 27th. Okay. And then early setup for vendors and long-distance trucks is all day Thursday, July 28th. So we'll be there from probably 7 a.m. till 7 at night on Thursday. And we do have quite a few guys long distance, so we expect probably 75 to 100 trucks and vendors setting up on Thursday.
Excellent. Well, that's kind of important. And certainly if somebody's going to be entering the competition, they have to have time to polish their chrome.
Sure, absolutely. And we are featuring this year, for the first time, we're going to have a free truck wash on site at the Speedway. That'll be all day Thursday, and then Friday morning from 7 to 11. So if guys come and they have bugs and stuff on the truck wash will get it off for them, and then they can do their polishing after that.
Excellent. Well, this is kind of
and you actually read my mind as to one of my questions was, if a driver needs to get a truck wash, where can they get it done?
Sure. Yeah, we really had a lot of requests for that since there's really no truck washes in the area. So Chemex out of Agawam, Mass. has been gracious enough to donate the wash products, and then Brandon from Fair Trade Home Solutions right up there in Winchester, New Hampshire. He actually washes and cleans houses and commercial property. He's actually donating his time, him and his crew.
Wow.
And they're going to come in and do the truck wash for the drivers. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you, Robert. This has been a lot of fun talking about the Gearcheimer Magazine Truck Show. That's happening at the end of July in New Hampshire. We appreciate you sharing all the information about it. It's going to be a really good time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and we really appreciate you guys talking to us.
You're very welcome. You've been listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on TNCRadio.live. Stay tuned for more coming up. Thank you for listening to another great interview on TNCRadio.live and the Truckers Network radio show. All of the material you hear on TNCRadio.live on our website, our broadcasts, or our podcasts are copyrighted. There can be no distribution without the express consent of TNCRadio.live and its partners. For inquiries, write us at info@tncradio.live. Radio.live. 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 Radio.live.